Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family to episode 6 or 7 of PSGINT reacting to tweets. We haven't done one of these videos in a while as I've been away for holiday. Let's jump straight into it. And what better place to start than this recent Alexander Isak stuff. Alexander Isak has informed Newcastle of his desire to explore and move this summer. Club aware of players planned and will now decide on how to move. Newcastle have already restarted exploring a move for a top striker in the market. So, what I've seen is that Isak at the moment currently has a 140k wage, but he wants to up that to 300k. Mostly, what he's doing, he's putting Newcastle in a situation where they cannot keep him and where he wants to leave. The issue is, I've seen a lot of people mention it, is a lot of the clubs have already signed their players. You know, Barca, I mean, they were never going to be able to afford Isak. Madrid, they don't have the money and they already have a lot of attackers. They're trying to sell Vinny. Bayern München, they don't have that money. They already got Kane. When you look at the Premier League, Liverpool just got Ekitike. And I've seen reports about Liverpool pushing for Isak. I don't think they will do that. I don't think they have the money. Maybe Isak isn't as interested in Liverpool as he was before as well. I don't think he's going to downgrade to Manchester United. Chelsea, I mean, Chelsea could always be there. Chelsea could always be there, and I don't see City going after him. So that basically leaves two clubs left. I mean, you could say Chelsea, but that basically leaves, and maybe Liverpool, but that basically leaves Paris Saint-Germain, which I'm hopeful for. I tweeted 1% chance, 99% faith. Please, get me Isak to Paris Saint-Germain. Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, and Alexander Isak. Please make it happen. Please make it happen. Yes, we won the UCL last year. We're extremely dominant, the best team in the world, but we need to strengthen as everyone else is strengthening around us, and Isak would be a superb signing. But mention how I said Saudi, because remember, 1 week ago, a report came out, Saudi club wants Isak, and Isak didn't reject. It wasn't the offer, but he didn't reject negotiation. He sat down with them. And that's probably why he came back and said to Newcastle, give me 300k a week. And we can't forget, Newcastle is owned by the Saudi Arabian government, as most top clubs in the Saudi Arabian league. Could Isak, in his absolute peak prime years, go to the Saudi Arabian league? For me, that seems to be the most likely, more likely than Liverpool, Chelsea, and PSG, the only three top European clubs that could potentially get their hands on Alexander Isak. But this is a situation that will be very exciting to follow. Me as a Swede, obviously, I want Alexander Isak to play the best possible club at the highest competitive level, but the choice will be his. And as I've said, the Saudi League is something that's just growing day by day. It's like if you compare when Ibra joined PSG to when Dembele joined PSG. When Ibra joined PSG, it was like, oh, you're going from Milan, even though they were broke at that time, going to PSG, you know, first season back in the UCL and all of that, but now it's completely different. I think the same thing will happen in Saudi. When the first players joined Saudi compared to now, it's completely different. That's the one I see the most likely. Let's move on. Isak remains strong for Liverpool even after signing a team. Depends on Newcastle. If Newcastle open doors to the next LFC sell Diaz. Wow, if they sell Diaz, that makes sense. Interesting to follow here. It was probably David Ornstein special. And then Fabrizio copied it. You know, I don't consider Fabrizio Romano a journalist anymore. Rashford obviously talked about it. Tottenham should test the waters. Player in football history. I mean, Ronaldinho is definitely one of, if not the most. Probably him and Neymar is the most entertaining. Oh my, Ronaldinho. Oh, Ronaldinho. And this is the AC Milan tape as well. Less athletic, but just poof. The showboating. Ronaldinho. Moving on. I've seen the situation. So I think Chicharito made a video calling out like bad women, bad females, and bad men, I think. Sara Iscos Alcano Parker regarding Chicharito. I understand that FIFA has already taken actual response to such alarming statements as these because they not only undermine values required to respect the international football defense, but represent a step backward at a time when sport should be an example, not source of shame. Global visibility said that women should take care of their home and blame our struggles for eradicating masculinity. He's not just expressing an opinion. What? FIFA penalize it? I mean, once again, I completely do not understand this. If Chicharito a human wants to express his opinion, no matter what it is, FIFA should have absolutely no right to ban him because of the words he says. And obviously, it's a fucking woman pushing this. They always do this to silence people. If Chicharito wants to say it, whether you agree or disagree with it, you gotta shut the fuck up. You can respond to it, you can react to it, but thinking you're some demigod and that FIFA is gonna ban him, which they could do, you know, that's how disgusting the world is. There is no free speech. FIFA to ban him for what he said and saying that women should take care of their home. That's like me saying humans should drink water. Eradicate. Yeah, and I saw that he blamed like females on eradicating masculinity. Obviously, I believe what's making women more masculine and what's making men less masculine is, you know, the society, the Zionist Jewish state. They are the ones ruining society. Because when you make a man weaker, he's easier to control. When you make women, I mean, masculine, but less feminine, they're easier to control as well because they don't know what they're doing. So obviously that's why the people that run the world want to make people weak. So I wouldn't say it's women that are eradicating masculinity. Yes, they're part of it, but not that big compared to what the people upstairs are doing. But women should take off their home. I mean, this just tells you everything you need to know about women in 2025, that they got fucking sensitive about a man saying that a woman should take care of her home or her family or something. Fuck, man. We're getting into a very dark age when it comes to humanity. Diego Forlan and Agüero, what a partnership at Atleti. I mean, Atleti spawning the best, you know, having such, it's not just attackers, it's just strikers. Diego Forlan, Sergio Kun Agüero, Diego Costa, Antoine Griezmann, and now Julian Alvarez. I mean, they always just manage to get the best out of the best. Incredible, man. The only like hurtful thing about a bit about Atleti is the trophies. You would want them to win a bit more, but obviously in La Liga competing with Madrid and Barca is extremely difficult, and they've most of the time been good in Europe. Obviously won 2 Europa Leagues under Diego Simeone, I believe, and 2 Champions League finals. And last season they were a bit unlucky because they're very good. Aura. Olmo, Rafinha, Rashford. In 6 starts with Warren Saddam and Raback last season, PSG lost, checks notes, 7 games. The backup Raback gimmick is a mirage. What does this mean? I don't understand what that means. Yeah, actually, I remember Camavinga. I felt he was the man of the match in that Champions League final versus Dortmund. Obviously, last season was really difficult for him with some injuries, but I remember some stupid mistakes, like the penalty he gave away versus Barca. I think he maybe did something versus Arsenal. I don't remember. Or was it Asensio? And then obviously the handball against Lille. But no, Camavinga is very talented. He just had a very poor season last season. And that's one issue I have with football fans is they can't differentiate between talent and performance. So for example, there can be a very talented player that has a bad year. Does that make him into a bad player? No, it just means he had a bad year. I can give you an example. Pablo Gavi, I think he's a very talented midfielder, but last season he was poor. He wasn't at the level you expect from Pablo Gavi. And now people are running with the narrative that he got exposed and he's a bad player. No, he's just had a bad season after coming back from that ACL and, you know, tough competition in that midfield with Casado, Bernal in the start, Pedri performing so great, Dani Olmo, even Frenkie de Jong having a bit of resurgence at the end of last season. That's something I always struggle with football fans. They can't differentiate between performances and talent. Who has the most evil cultist fan base, Güler or Mbappe? I mean, I've seen like the Turks. It's not just a Güler thing; it's the Turkish thing. You know, come to Fenerbahce and all of that. They're very strong on social media. But if you're gonna say evil cultist, it obviously has to be the Mbappe cultist. I mean, definitely the most disingenuous people to ever have a football conversation with. I can name on the fingers of my hand how many Mbappe fans I've actually had a genuine discussion with, and we've come to a genuine conclusion. They never criticize Kylian Mbappe. They always think the problem is PSG, Luis Enrique, now it's Vini, Ancelotti, Rodrigo, Bellingham. Never seen them criticize Mbappe, even though he's dropped off quality-wise so much in the past 3 years. No, definitely. Mbappe FC is definitely the worst. It's like Messi FC and Ronaldo FC were bad. but the newer generations just getting worse. Yamal FC is definitely the worst on Twitter. Whenever I see someone on Twitter with a Yamal PFP, I know this is gonna be a garbage ass opinion, man. Because younger people more stupid, especially the new younger generations. Ousmane Dembele is still the big favorite to win the Ballon d'Or. His chances are at 80% as of today. I mean, it was never a doubt. He's been at 80% basically ever since we won the Champions League. Ousmane Dembele take the Ballon d'Or home to finish off the season. I would have liked maybe they do the Ballon d'Or a bit earlier, because to end last season instead of beginning of next season, but we'll take it. Some extra PR, man. We'll take it. 450 million pounds on 3 left-sided players. Poverty use of resources. Abi Everett's going to crumble under Prem physicality. Again, Prem physicality is one of the most disingenuous football takes I've ever seen. Whenever you talk with a Premier League fan or someone that supports the Premier League or watches the Premier League, when they compare anything else, they say physicality and so on. When it's not, actually, I would say the biggest thing in the Premier League is the running. You need to have insane stamina. Yes, you can maybe say that about physicality or something, but he's obviously talking here more about the athleticism and the duels and so on. I wouldn't say so. Joao Neves was bodying Declan Rice left, right, and center. So I don't understand these. And Wirtz is a superb player, superb talent. You think the Premier League is... Iktike is just a tall Nicholas Jackson. I mean, Nicholas Jackson is a very good player. So I don't think that's a bad thing. Isak gets cursed by Newcastle witch doctors. We still have a lottery. We're winning the league. I mean, this just sounds extremely insecure. Liverpool obviously look really strong, but even as a City fan, you should be confident going into next season with all the new acquisitions. And especially because you were so bad last season, it gives you even more hunger and incentive to perform well. But this just sounds extremely insecure. Talking that way about Liverpool this season with their new acquisitions and so on. All right, let's finish it off with one more cheeky report. Not this, I just want to read it. Mbappe abandons his number 9 for the 10, a decision that beyond symbolic reasons responds to commercial imperatives. Ramon Alvarez declares it's a decision by the club not to play. The possibilities for generating revenue with Mbappe's image are greater with the number 10, 100%. It should also be noted that his number corresponds to the player's brand KM10. That is true. That is true. When I saw Mbappe given the number 10, it was all about marketing and all of that. Why would you give that to Güler, who's not even a regular starter? Doesn't make sense. All right, let's take an actual. So Sky Sports claimed Chelsea were looking to get Hato for 52 million pounds when Fabrizio reported to be around 34 million pounds. Sky Sports spiking the price for their agenda against Chelsea is becoming more obvious by the day. I mean, I don't follow Sky Sports. I don't look at their reports. I don't take them seriously, but I've seen a lot of people complain about Sky Sports, what they've said about the Wirtz wages as well, that it's less than what it actually is. But Palmer isn't hitting 10 goals without penalties. Alright, I lost. What the fuck, man? Wow, a lot of people talking about this Isak stuff. Oh, for you. Well, was all right. Let's find one more here, and then we're done. Vitinha might just be the most productive we've ever seen in Busquets. I mean, it could be right. One player I'm thinking of is David Silva. I think he was Bernardo Silva. Thiago Alcantara. But I mean, Vitinha might be the best out of them three. I mean, he's more. The thing with makes Vitinha so good as well is his athleticism. Like, he has a burst of speed despite being like a midfielder. Well, the camera for some reason cut off. I think this is the perfect way, I guess, to end this video. Hopefully, guys have enjoyed this video. And yeah, and as usual, allez, Paris.